G'day, my name's Paul, and you're watching Old School Only.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Old School Only is go.
G'day, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to get some paint on this thing. So I've been busy sanding and blocking and puttying and all that kind of stuff, and I'm about this close to be able to run some colour on this thing. So let's finish off what we've got to finish off and get the spray gun out. I'm excited. Today's going to be fun. So before I can go painting this thing, I'm just painting the sides, leaving the roof and the bonnet and the boot. I've got to rub the penetrol off, and I'll just a little test spot. I'll show you. So I've just got some all-purpose thinners, and it's coming off pretty easily. So I've got to do both front guards and that door. Everything else should be fine. They're the only things that have it on it. So let me do that, and we'll move on to the next step.
Wrenches clanging, metal screams underneath the busted wheels.
Got to weld these up too. I keep forgetting.
My hands greasing my hair. Junkyard symphony fills the air. Rust and grease streams, they never die. Turning scrap heaps into things that fly. Rust and grease streams, it's all I need. Heart of a motor, blood of speed. Fender's dented chrome is gone. Still she's singing that broken song. Welding sparks like fireflies. Burning hope in the night.
Righto, the guard and the door's done. The door was easy because that's only been on there for a few weeks. This stuff that's been on for over 12 months, my goodness, even that little spot, I'm glad I'm not doing the whole car because we cut most of it off. So yeah, that's done. I will give it a 400, block it down with 400 before I paint it. And now I'm going to get over this side. And all I've got to do here is this. Oh, ow, just kicked something. Just got to do this guard. Whew, shouldn't be too hard.
She ain't pretty, she ain't clean, but she's alive in this machine. Rust and grease streams, they never die. Turning scrap heaps into things that fly. Rust and grease streams, it's all I need.
That is not a Monaro.
So I just grabbed my welder and it's raining. The front of this car pokes out a bit. That far. But it's not raining hard. So I'm tempted just to zap, zap, zap. And then zap, zap, zap that side. If I do it quick, what's the point? But I don't know. I'll let you know. It's not as if I can do anything once I weld it up because it's starting to rain heavy. And then, because I was thinking, oh, if I do it now and I could fill it and sand it and do all that stuff and have it ready to stick some primer on, but I can't paint anything at the moment, so there's no rush. Righto, it's the next day. Yesterday it turned into a bit of a write-off because of the rain, and it bucketed down last night and this morning. It's about midday now, and it's overcast, but it's not raining. So I want to get back into this. Probably not the best weather to paint, especially outside like I am. But it's not humid, it's cool, and we're going old school, so it's not going to matter too much. Let's get into it.
can't find my tools when I need them. Rummaging through boxes of nuts and bolts, and I can't find a matching set. I got a sore back and knees and hands and feet. I got grease and scars all over me. I got a challenge I'm up for, I never say die. I got junk turning into me cool old school cars and bikes.
Just use a bit of spot putty on that because they're not that deep. We've just got to wait for that to dry. So I need to slip up the road and grab some supplies. Well, apart from there, she's ready to go. I put some, what do you call it? Can't remember. There it is. Some Raptor Tough undercoat textured for all my lower bits. Some of the lower bits. Like that bit there, you know. And I put some around here just to hide that little bit of untidiness, which is beautiful. But yeah, apart from those front guards, and like I said, I would have liked to have done them yesterday. But anyway, she's just about, oh, she's ready. I just got to give it a quick 400, just scuff it up and tape it up, and psh, 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 can't wait. So I'm just going to hit some of the spots with the genuine colour, which is kind of that colour there. So that's underneath because this car is resprayed, as you can see, multiple times, just to make it a little bit more authentic. And then we'll go over the top with the new gold. Watch out. Watch out, mate. And plus it'll give me an idea of what it's like to repair. It's not perfect, I can tell you that right now. But anyway, see what happens. It's not terrible, but I can see my welds. Let's see if that dries out and disappears. Perfectly flat with good coverage, but I can see the welds. But it's only one coat. I'll do the other side while we're waiting. A couple of coats, it looks good. And then I did the quarters and bouncing the light off them. You probably can't see them, but it's probably the straightest part of the car, which I'm pretty happy with. Same on this side, and oh, you might get a little bit of a reflection there. It's that's just base coat too, so there's no shine to it. But yeah, it's come up pretty good. Pretty good. Here comes the rain again.
Falling on my head like a memory.
Falling on my head like a new emotion. Unless the sun bursts out of those dark clouds over there, we're not going to paint it today.
But I'm pretty handy with a tool. And my welding ain't bad. And my hands are always black. But if it ain't in the shed, then it probably ain't that cool. I got a sore back and knees and hands and feet. I got grease and scars all over me. I got a challenge I'm up for, I never say die. I got junk turning into cool old school cars and bikes.
Righto, we are rubbed down. Everything's ready to go for paint, except it's too cold. It's been raining, and yeah, it's late in the evening now. So another day foiled. I wanted to paint it yesterday, didn't get to do it. Wanted to paint it today, didn't get to do it, but it's ready. So all I've got to do now is tape it up and give it a wipe down with Prepsol. Everything's been done. All the panels have been rubbed down. So tomorrow, it's going to rain tomorrow, but it's going to be warmer, so 29 degrees. It was tops of like 22 today, and it's like 18 now, and wet. So tomorrow we'll try again. See you soon. Righto, it's the next day, and it is a stunning day today. Forecast rain and thunderstorms, but it's not at the moment. So hopefully I'll have a window of opportunity to get some paint on this thing. So I'm going to clean my workbench, get this thing outside. Let's go.
Story about a car of mine, sits real low and looks real fine. Taken away from the metal man, crushing machine that makes tin cans. 30 years sitting in a big old shed, left her there cause she was dead. Full flat tires and busted wires, bubbled up paint from an engine fire. She's flat black with pinstripes, black smoke pumping at the tailpipes. Chopped and dropped and channeled low, hit the flames to make a show. It's 8 balls and fuzzy dice, Mexican blankets fit real nice. But one place you'll never go is off the road cause she's too low. I heard the mill, my rocket 88, 411 gears from a Ford V8. Power glide box with a manual shift really makes those tires lift. She's flat black with pinstripes, black smoke bumping at the tailpipes. Chopped and dropped and channeled low, hit the flames to make a show. It's 8 balls and fuzzy dice, Mexican blankets fit real nice. But one place you'll never go is off the road cause she's too low.
Righto. Let's mix some paint.
Rides like these don't come for free, can't be bought or grown on trees. A whole lot of money and a lot of time, a lot of late nights to make her mine. A real hot rodder builds his cars and can be spotted by the grease and scars. Broken fingers and busted nails, built on a budget and not for sale. She's flat black with pinstripes, black smoke pumping at the tailpipes. Chopped and dropped and channeled low, hit the flames to make a show. It's 8 balls and fuzzy dice, Mexican blankets fit real nice. But one place she'll never go is off the road cause she's too low.
Just stopping for a drink. It's hot and muggy. Kind of like I expected it with all that rain. Well, let me turn it around. It's looking pretty good. It did come out like it was coming out a bit dark, but it's starting to lighten up, and it somewhat matches the roof and some of the other panels, which is kind of what I wanted it to do. I did put my grease over it, so you'll see scratches and marks. On that first quarter I forgot, so I only had a light coat, so I went back over, put grease on what I needed to put grease on, then I can come back and sand. I'm going to sand the whole car back just a little bit. And I know you're not supposed to sand metallic, but we're going for an old paint job. But yeah, it's looking good. Just chucked the little GTR badges on it, just for a bit of inspiration. But yeah, now I want to put my stripes on. So underneath, around the windows, and then up there, which will be cool. But the paint job's definitely looking too new at the moment, but it'll be fine. Actually, I might just give it a quick wet sand with some 1200. Just knock the top off it and bring out some of the imperfections. And then I'll paint the little bits and pieces on it.
They pulled me over, my license was expired. They didn't have a radar, but the Kings would still impound.
Righto, so my battery went flat and it's just been on charge for a while, but I've done the blackouts down there on both sides and around the windows, so that's done. What I want to do now is put the GTR stripes on, so let's have a crack at that. And the rain starts. Well, at least it's painted. I'll put it away and see if this goes away, but got a bit of blackness up there. This is becoming more of a weather channel than a car channel. Back to the studio, Carl. Can't get it in. All that sanding with the wetness of the hose has made it boggy. And yeah, spinny spin spin. Already got some dirt on the new paint, which is cool. But in the rain it stays for now. Tiny little break in the rain. I'm gonna have a crack.
Well, she ain't real pretty and she ain't too fast, but you can guarantee she's built to last. My Torana is an ugly bucket, but she's shiny on the inside, and she's running just fine. My golden nugget. Well, we found her in the middle of the gold fields, going rusty like she didn't have no more appeal. But we dragged her out and now she's running, a little help from my friends. Well, she's driving and she's driving just fine, my golden nugget.
How good does that look? Yeah, man. That is what I was after. Look at that. The rain in Spain falls mainly at my place. Thanks, Carl. Slight break in the rain. Forecast for more rain. But right now, there's a gap in the rain. So what I'm going to do is try and get these other stripes on this side before the rain starts. Back to you, Carl. Well, I tried. I got one coat on, a light coat, but it had rain on it because it just started raining as soon as I started to paint. But I'll come back to it when it's stopped. Well, you can look at this as a positive way. How lucky am I that I get stuck outside once it's got paint on it, because I would have freaked out if it was stuck out there and it was like it was, with bare metal everywhere. So it's not all bad. We've covered everything up inside, and not that there's much in there. And whatevs. Little break in the rain and we're done. Looks good. Nice bit of wear and tear on the old stripes. I don't know if the GTRs had painted stripes or stick on. I think they were painted. Mine are painted. But yeah, we have a painted two-door GTR replica from a completely razzed out four-door Torana that was destined for the crusher. How good. How good. Righto, what's the next day? It's a cracker. And I got the ute out before and I skull dragged that thing out from that ditch, the big bog hole, and it's out the front. So I want to give it a wash, see what it looks like, decide if I'm going to penetrol it. I'll do a little test piece somewhere. Also going to stick the bumper and the lights and all those other pieces on. May even stick the side glass on, hey? Yeah, let's go for it. Righto, she's had a good wash. I am going to try some penetrol on it, maybe on that C-pillar where the two colours kind of meet, which is kind of not that visible, which is good. But it'll give me an idea of what it's going to look like with a little bit of wetness on it, I guess, would be the right term, because I'm going to rag it on, which will give me more of a satin finish. And hopefully we don't see it too much, but it will just seal everything up and make it look like one paint job, kinda. I also got the hose into the inside and hose everything into the centers of each area, and then I'll get my magnet out and my dustpan and brush, and we'll make sure we've got no metal fragments in there. I think that's the best way to do that. So I've just given that quarter panel a light covering of it. It's like kind of like, doesn't make it wet, it's just like takes the dryness out, like moisturization lotion that you put on your legs after you've shaved them. So I'm going to go ahead and do the whole car. Take me about 5 minutes. That's what I'm using. Penetrol, get it at Bunnings, and just with a rag, wiping it on. If you want a real glossy finish, spray it on with a spray gun. It is like glass, but it's not the look I'm going for. And another way to put it on is with a brush. You get it on a little bit thicker. I think that's what we did to DJ's car, the Valiant, the Pacer, over in Perth. But yeah, I like the satin kind of deal. So yeah, just rag it on thin, and once it's dry, you want more, just put a bit more on. But I think one coat will be enough, but we'll see. Takes a while to dry, but this thinness shouldn't take too long. And I can't see any rain clouds at the moment, which is a good thing.
Are you gonna do it up?
Righto, penetrol. Look at it. How good is it? Nice satin finish. It's still drying. But yeah, that's awesome. It is awesome. I'm going to let it dry for a while in the sun, have a rest, and come back shortly. See you then.
My golden nugget and my friends have been through a lot of late nights and big days just to put her back on the road again. She may be a little bit different from the others, but she gets me home. Well, we pulled her apart and we cleaned her out, and the new parts cost a bit of money. And we worked and worked until we got her going, across the desert from Perth to Sydney. And she's a running and she's running just fine, my golden nugget. So if you see me on the highway or on the freeway, or out on the back streets of Western Sydney, well, Well, you can guarantee that I'm having fun because she's shiny on the inside, and she's running just fine. My golden nugget. Well, my golden nugget and my friends have been through a lot of late nights and big days just to put her back on the road again. She may be a little bit different from the others, but she gets me home.
Well, I think that's a wrap. We are assembled on the outside. I'm not going to put them windows in yet because the roof liner's got to go in and other bits and pieces, so I'll hold off. There's no rush. Badges are on, tail lights and everything's in and wired up, bumpers on. It is looking fantastic. The Penetrol makes it look great, so I'm really happy with that. She's come up unreal. I'm really happy. I just got a comment on one of my early videos. I should have bought a 4-cylinder 2-door and put the front, this is what he said, put the front on it, that way there'd be no cutting and shutting. I didn't cut and shut anything for starters, and the 4-cylinders have a different wheelbase, so you've got major structural work to do in that. Anyway, another Nigel, another expert. Show me the one you made, and if you haven't worked it out already, I like to call out the experts. Give a silly comment, expect to get pinned and called out. There you go. Anyway, have my little rant. It just gets frustrating sometimes when people think they know what they're talking about, but hey, I'm open to correction all the time and suggestions and whatever, but I don't do BS very well, especially from the armchair guys. So anyway, you know what I'm like. That's it from me. Stay tuned, be good to your mates, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Next video will be the gearbox conversion, which isn't just throwing the gearbox in. There's a bit of mods I've got to do as far as tail shaft, clutch, pedal and cable, and everything's different. As far as bolting to the motor, it's straight in. But then, yeah, I've got to weld up that tunnel. I've said that about 97 times. But anyway, be good to your mates. It's not weak to speak. Love you guys. Awesome foursome. You guys rock. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
You're doing it wrong.